So excited because my Knitting for Olive package finally arrived. It really only took 2 weeks, but I was pretty eager to go get it, and Claire was eager for the snow. Here we go! Going to get some important mail! Are we going to get Mommy's yarn from the mailbox? We live on a little farm, so the driveway is long, but Claire was a trooper and trudged through the snow, and we got back into the warmth pretty quickly. Just got my Knitting for Olive package in the mail, and I'm super excited to open it. I've actually never ordered from Knitting for Olive. I've only bought patterns from them, so I'm really excited to try this yarn and feel it and see how it looks. This is the regular merino, and it's the colorway cream. And I will be sharing on the next podcast episode what I'm doing with this yarn, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, this yarn is really soft. I ordered 5 balls of this yarn, the cream regular merino. And then, I was super excited to see the color of this one. This is their navy blue regular merino. It's just as soft, obviously, as the other one because it's the same yarn, but the color is so pretty. Perfect navy blue. And I'm excited to share with you guys what I'll be doing with that. I am planning to make a project with it holding these doubles. So this is their soft silk mohair in navy blue as well, and the merino. I tend to be more of a monogamous knitter, so I feel like I need to get a project done before I can cast a new one on. So we'll see how soon I finish the pearls on a string. Depends on nap times this week. So anyway.
Look, he's done.
As a mom of 2 little ones, you might be wondering when I get any knitting time in, and honestly, the rhythm that I found that works best for me is including Claire, who is 26 months old, in just about everything that I can include her in while she's awake. And then Elsie is 3 months old, so she mostly is either napping or in her bouncer or in her carrier with me, or, I nurse her and hold her a lot. But keeping Claire involved in as much as I can during her time that she's awake, and then really using nap time to do things that fill my cup, like getting in the Word, knitting, sometimes editing videos, just different things like that. Claire loves to help. She's such a good helper. She loves to learn things, and to be honest, at this age, they don't really know the difference between chores and play. Like, to her, washing dishes is a form of play. She loves the water and scrubbing and doing things like this with me, and we make a good time out of it. I try to remind myself too that it is such a blessing to have a warm home to do dishes in, and food that we got to eat off of these dishes, or laundry that means having warm clothes that we were able to wear. Just having a mind of gratitude really helps throughout the day with simple, mundane things. Claire and I have been coping with the cold by baking a lot of banana bread lately, and just baking in general, really. Claire loves to eat her creations afterward and gets really excited to make things in the kitchen with me. So that's been one of our go-to activities lately. So the project I've been working on lately is the Pearls on a String sweater by Knitting for Olive. It's been a really fun pattern so far, except that I started out on DPNs and lost a few stitches along the way during the German short rows, and unfortunately had to restart because it wasn't salvageable once I dropped a few stitches and had some wrap and turns to try to figure out where I was in the pattern. So that was a bummer, but I eagerly got started again and got to the bobbles when I realized I had read the pattern wrong and also made a mistake that required frogging. So I frogged it all the way back to the beginning and cast on again for a third time. This time I have gotten to the circular knitting part in circular needles instead of DPNs, and I'm making great forward progress, so that's exciting. I'm hoping to get to the bobbles, and I think I figured out what I did wrong the first time, so hopefully this time I get it right and I can accomplish the sweater before the end of January. That's kind of my goal right now, just with all the other knitting projects I want to complete by the end of the year. We're baking again, and this time we are making lemon blueberry muffins, some of Claire's favorites because she is a huge blueberry fan. This week I was reminded of a quote by Louisa May Alcott from Little Women. She says, "The humblest tasks get beautified if loving hands do them," and that was really encouraging to me, that I can go about my work with joy, and if I do them in such a loving way, or out of a heart of love, then they become even more beautiful than just mundane tasks to get done. And in my time in the Word this week, I feel like the Lord was putting humility on my heart, and it was really encouraging that in James 4:10 it says, "Humble yourself before the Lord, and He will exalt you." And just being reminded that Jesus was always humbling Himself, and if He can do that, then I most certainly can too. Now that Claire and Elsie were down for a nap, I finished my time in the Word and got a little bit of video editing done. Back to my knitting after that, and getting some progress again on this pearls on a string sweater. It's my goal to finish by January, but I am playing a bit of yarn chicken. I already played yarn chicken once with the first half of the garment, the cream part on top. I really was risking it with the mohair that I had in the color white. It was in my stash and I was just trying to use it up, which I did, and only had a very little bit left after finishing the bobbles for this sweater. Now I'm playing yarn chicken again with the mohair, the brown mohair I'm using, along with the DK brown yarn I'm also using held together. And this time I'm definitely thinking I'm gonna lose it yarn chicken, because I know I don't have enough. I got the girls down for their nap this afternoon and got started on a London Fog latte. This is my favorite drink for the winter, and it pairs really well with baked goods, which we've been making a lot of, like I said. So I usually will steep the tea for about 3 to 5 minutes, and I add honey, a little bit of vanilla extract, and I like to occasionally add some collagen peptides for added protein and the benefits of collagen. And then once that is stirred up and steeping, I usually will froth up some heavy cream and milk and make it a full latte. I highly recommend, if you've never tried a London Fog, you definitely should try it. I used to not be much of a tea person, but I've realized that you can really make tea quite delicious if you make it in a latte version. I feel like that's the trick for me, at least. Now I'm all ready to enjoy nap time with a hot cup of London Fog. I I was gifted this knitting journal for Christmas, and so I am logging my very first project into this journal. It's the pearls on a string sweater I've been working on, and I am trying to be diligent about finally taking notes on my projects. Now for the rest of nap time, I'm going to get cozy and try to make some good progress on my project. My goal today is to get to the arms, to split the arms. We have a little bit of time in the car, and Drew usually drives, so I get some knitting time in. So hopefully we can accomplish my goal today with getting to the sleeves. I was able to get to my goal of splitting for the arms that day, and we're back in the car again, getting more knitting time in. Drew and I definitely love catching up together, and we laugh a lot. We're always making jokes, and the girls are in their car seats in the back, and they are really great on car rides, thankfully. Drew drives, and I knit. So I try to do at least like 1 or 2 rounds every small trip that we do, and it adds up quick. So making some progress on this first sweater of the year. Right? Thank you for driving.
Nothing else I'd rather do. No, I feel much safer.
It's a win-win.
I prefer to drive.
Well, I prefer to knit while you drive.
Why we're married.
Once we got back home, Drew kindly offered to make dinner for us, and Claire was happy to help him. So I got Elsie down for her nap and sat by the fire, or rather the heater, and put on Pride and Prejudice while I knit. If you haven't seen the 2005 version of Pride and Prejudice, it is probably me and Drew's favorite romance movie. It's a great period piece, and it's honestly kid appropriate. So sometimes Claire will watch it with me, and she loves the dancing and the dresses and all the sisters. The book is really good too. So I reached my goal that day of getting to the arms split and actually got past that by a good amount the next day. So it's finally starting to look like a sweater. Saturdays are the best for nap time. This past Saturday, Drew loves sewing and I love knitting, so we do a little craft time together. He specifically enjoys sewing to tailor his clothes, and my hope is that he will get into patterns eventually and make me clothes and the girls' clothes. So that's the dream. Eventually, I would also love to learn to sew. I can hand stitch, but that's about it. And we're enjoying Pride and Prejudice while we do this little craft time, which, as I said, is our favorite. I already expected it, but I did lose at Yarn Chicken, and I'm definitely going to need to order another ball of yarn of the mohair to finish the sleeves. I didn't even get to cast off the body, so definitely need more, which I was like 100% sure I did, but wishful thinking, you know? Since I finished well, I didn't finish it. Since I ran out of yarn for the pearls on a string sweater, I have decided to move on to a new project and started winding some of my Sorella yarn from that Oopsie sale I mentioned in the first podcast. It's all really beautiful pinks and purple yarn colorways. So I am thinking I'm going to make one of the girls a Valentine's themed cardigan or something with pink and probably cream. Maybe some purple, we'll see. My goal now is to finish something for one of them. I'm still really deciding on what exactly I'm making, but the goal is February 14th, obviously, so that they can wear it on Valentine's Day. Also, winding for 100-gram skeins of DK weight yarn is no joke. My arms got a good workout. The skeins are all wound, and now just to determine what exactly I'm going to do for the next project. I now am just moving on to a Valentine's Day themed cardigan for one of the girls. My thought is that So I'm doing the Anna's Summer Cardigan by Petite Knit, and these are usually supposed to be like lace little yarn over details, but I've decided to do pink stitches and just follow the, like, basically just like the placement of each detail, so they're even. And my goal, I'm making a 1 to 2 year old size, and Claire is just over 2, but she is more petite. So I'm thinking that this will fit Claire this year. And then next year, it'll probably be just a little, actually, yeah, if anything, it might be a little oversized for Elsie because she'll be a little over 1 and it's a 1 to 2 year old size. So I think this will be perfect to be able to get wear out of them consecutive years, like back-to-back years. So this is how much I've gotten done so far. And I was able to get it started while we were watching the Eagles and Washington game. And then after that, we watched the Chiefs and Bills game, and the girls went down, so I got a good start. The last 2 days, I've just slowly gotten the color work going. Just a little bit at a time with nap time and car rides and, you know. As for the yarn, I decided to use this cream colorway. It's 100% wool. It's a DK, I think it's a worsted weight, and it's from Michaels. Usually I don't buy craft store yarn, but I had this vision to do the Sorella Terracotta Oopsie colorway with something cream for Valentine's Day for Claire. And I was on my way to my knitting group, which we meet like once a month. And the last 2 times we've met, I have had projects where I am like at a stopping point, or I just need to cast something new on because I don't have anything like in progress. And I just feel like that is the worst idea when it comes to sitting in a group and talking and trying to knit, because I'm like trying to count stitches or get to the increases and then like feel like I have to really focus on what I'm doing. So that was not the best idea. I think next month, I'm gonna try to have something in a good like stockinette, just like be able to just do stockinette the whole time while talking. But anyway, on my way there, I just randomly, on my way to knitting group, I decided to pick this up from Michaels, and I feel like they go pretty well together. They're cute. And I am liking how it's looking for the Anna's Summer Cardigan. You eating blueberries? And anyway, so I just thought I'd share a little bit about the yarn. It is 100% wool. And I was just kind of shocked to find that at Michael's. When I am desperate for a yarn that is a natural fiber and at a like cheap price, Hobby Lobby has a brand called Yarn Bee that seems like it's a pretty popular yarn brand for craft stores. But they sell a section of yarn from that brand that is called the hand dyed collection or something like that, and it is really honestly so beautiful. I used it for one of the girls' going home outfits, and I really liked it. And they have a few other good colors that I've seen recently that I've thought about getting, but I already have enough yarn right now. Just an idea though, if you're ever looking for a good price and want to buy something in stores, Michaels and Hobby Lobby have a couple different options for 100% wool. So yeah, I'm feeling excited about this progress. I definitely am eager to split for the sleeves and see it come together. Obviously my deadline is Valentine's Day so that Claire can wear it and be festive. But yeah, that is where I'm at, and hopefully in the next couple days I'll get more progress done, and I think I have about 2 weeks until I need to have it fully finished and blocked.